Hey guys, welcome to this section on Excel formatting. So in this section, we shall be looking at how we can format the data in such a way whereby it will look presentable. So the first thing we'll be looking at is we want to make sure these represent thousands so that it will be readable. So what do? We'll come straight to number formatting and do that. So I have to select the entire data that we have there, and I'll come to number format. This is where we can format the numbers. I can now select comma style, meaning that every thousand should be separated by comma. So right now it's looking a bit readable. We can see the decimal places there, so we can decide to increase the number of decimal places that we want, or we can decide to reduce it or even remove it. Okay, so everything depends on you. So we can decide to put 2 decimal places by placing it there. Now, so this is what we do for these, but still this does not tell us that this is a currency. So for us to show that this is a currency, we may need to come here and select the currency. So we're selecting the USD. So this is a better format. The sales is actually $30,000, not actually other currency. So this is better and it is readable. Now the next thing for us to do is to format this heading, and for us to format this heading, we'll select the heading. So we can decide to format the heading by going to the font group, and we can work on it from there. So one of the things we can do, we can change the name of the font. So we click down and select the font that we want to use. Any of the font that you feel like using, you can actually select that font. I'll be using a Calibri font, and that font is okay for me. I can decide to change the size of the font by coming here to increase the size of the font, or I can do that same thing here by clicking on this to increase the size of the font, or I can reduce the size of the font from here. So let's increase it a little bit. Then we can make it bold. We can make it italic if that's what you want. We can underline it if you want to underline it, but it's not right. So we can decide to change the font color by coming to where you have a here and select the font color you want to use. So if you select the red, or we can click down and have other colors that we can select here. So this looks better to me, but I think this font size is still looking too big. So let me reduce it a little bit. So this is better for me. So now we've been able to make sure the font color changes, and we've also made it bold. So this is part of the formatting we want to do. Let's go further by changing the budget. For us to change the budget size and make it much more readable for us, we may decide to highlight on budget and go straight to the font size to increase the font. If I decide to type anything from here, realize that the size is small. So if I'm typing here, it means that this budget estimate will not be seen. So for me to make this look better, I will need to highlight on several cells, and so that I can match them. So I'll come here, click on merge and center, and that will match the cells. So, but if you look at it, the budget estimate is down. I want it to be at the middle. So this brings me to the alignment. So I'll come up here in the alignment and take it to the middle alignment. Okay, and it's already at the middle already. So this is taking it to the middle alignment. So it's at the middle. So I can come here, increase the size of my font. Okay, I can increase the size of my font and change the color of the font also. Maybe I want it to have a different blue color, and I want it to be bold. Okay, so this gives me the budget estimate. So we can increase that a little bit. Let's just increase this a little bit. So I think this is better. So this is budget estimate showing as a title now, which is better. Maybe I want a situation whereby this header will have a different color so that it will look more colorful. I can just highlight on everything I have here to this end here and change the cell color. So I can come here and change the cell field color. I can come here and click on maybe a lighter blue, and if I'm making that a lighter blue, that simply means I'll have to make sure this has a different color on its own. Okay, so I'll select the text and make it white, and I think this is better. With this, you've been able to create a very good table, and this is nice. This is table calculation, which we did earlier on. We can decide to make this bold. So I may decide to just make only one section bold, like come here and add some things here, make this bold, and so that it will be readable. But if I want to copy this same format, or this same format that I've done here across, what do I need to do? I'll select this and come here to format paint. What is it used for? Is used for selecting or for copying a format so that you can apply it in other places. So I can select that. So I've just selected that. I can now highlight on other areas that I want to apply the same format, and you can see now it has been applied. So the same way, I can select it and say, okay, select this format and apply it in these two areas here. So having done that, you can see how my table is looking like. The table is looking very, very cool. I may decide to say, okay, maybe I want to differentiate this budget estimate that I've created from the other areas of my Excel sheet. So I can just highlight on the entire table, and I'll go straight to border and create borders now. So I can say, you can see the options we have here. Tick outside, that's to make the border to show outside. So let's just select this, and if we select this, you can see that this looks different. So if you look at this is looking nice. So remember, we started from trying to just make this January, February, March, and we enter this data. Then we did some table calculations, but yet this is not yet a table in Microsoft Excel. In our next class, we'll be looking at how can we convert these to make it a table. That's what we'll be looking at next. Thank you.